All right, y'all. So let's think back to 1998. NBA Finals consisted of the Chicago Bulls and the Utah Jazz. The Jazz beat the Lakers in the conference finals that year. A young Lakers squad with Shaq and Kobe. But what if the Lakers, hypothetically speaking, beat the Jazz and we would have got a finals of the Bulls and the Lakers in 1998? You got to just join me on this one. This is hypothetically speaking. I'm on my soapbox right now. So I'm just on my laptop. I'm in the booth. And I was just happening to think, first and foremost, what would have happened if we would have gotten that finals now? There's a lot of finals appearances, a lot of finals matchups, rather, that we never got a chance to see. We never got a chance to see Kobe and Bron. We got a chance to see Michael versus Magic at the tail end of Magic's career, but we never got that Michael versus Kobe matchup. Now, you can say if we would have gotten it, it wouldn't have been that great because Michael was, getting older. Kobe was not even close to his prime yet. I don't know. I'm just, on my hypothetical. So we're just going to play around. We're going to look at some stats. We're going to just, do the hypothetical matchups in our brain and just follow along with me. Just humor me here, please, just a little bit. And, just see what a matchup of the Lakers versus the Bulls in 98 would have potentially looked like. I probably should have just simmed this on 2K or something. Might do that in the future. All right, so they played each other twice in the regular season. This is the first matchup. The Bulls beat them 104-83. But, to be honest with you, record-wise, the Lakers were 18-6 at this point. Bulls 15-9. So, they weren't too far off. Let's see what the stats look like that game. Who was the high scorer? Oh, would you look at that? Would you look at that? No, Shaq didn't even play that game. Not with team. I wonder why he wasn't. I can't remember why Shaq wasn't. What was up with Shaq earlier in the season? But I kind of want to look and see what Shaq was up to the first part of the season for them that year. For them to be 18-6 and he wasn't with the team. So I wonder if he was just hurt. I can't remember. Honestly, can't remember. I do remember this game somewhat, but I don't remember. Let me see. I'll make sure I'm not in the way. Yeah. I don't remember exactly why Shaq was not playing. Maybe he was hurt. Could have been a baby toe or something. Who knows? But Kobe had 33 points, and you can say some of those points did come in garbage time because he was getting his ass kicked. But he shot 12 for 20 from the field, 3 for 5 from 3. An efficient game for being. Let's see. Elton Campbell, 15. Nick Van Exel, 11. See, what about the Bulls? Mike had 36. He said, youngster, you cannot outscore me. You cannot outdo me on this one. 12 for 22 from the field. He only attempted 2 threes. Mike didn't shoot a lot of threes. But the man shot 12 free throws. Jesus. Luke Longley had 23 points. So that's and Scottie Pippen did not play this game. So no Scottie for the Bulls, no Shaq for the Lakers, and the Bulls put belt to ass. But it's just interesting to see what their record looked like at this period of very early in the season. And they finished with relatively similar records. The Bulls was 1 game ahead. They finished the season 62-20. Chicago did. The Lakers finished 61-21 that year. So just a game apart. The Bulls actually finished with the same record as the Jazz, but the Jazz had the tiebreaker, so that's why they had home court in 98. The second matchup was a little bit of a different story. The Lakers this time, they was the ones with belt to ass. Winning 112-87. And if you look at the records at this stage of the season, this is in February, the Lakers are 33-11. Bulls 33-14. So not too far off. The Lakers was on a good pace that season. Let's scroll down. I think both teams was full strength this game. Mike had 31 points on 11 for 26 from the field. That is not great, MJ. Let's see. Scottie had 13, 5 for 10 from the field. Scott Burrell off the bench with 15 points. Luke Longley again with 10. Maybe they should have got Luke more acclimated into the offense. Luke took a back seat because I think when he was Where did he play before Chicago? Minnesota? I think he actually was a better offensive player than he wasn't asked to be that dynamic of an offensive player in Chicago. They didn't need him to. Let's see what the Lakers look like. And again, like I said, Kobe is still coming off the bench. This is 98, so he ain't tapped into. Dale Harris didn't know what the hell he was doing, basically. But he played behind Eddie Jones, and Eddie Jones had 20 points that game. Shaq had 24. Rick Fox with 25. Kobe off the bench with 20. So a great output. Great output. Record similar. As far as wins, similar in wins. 3 games behind was the Bulls of the Lakers at this stage of the season. So, not too terrible as far as the matchup is concerned. But that's my whole dilemma here. That's my whole questioning as to how a finals matchup of the Bulls and the Lakers would have panned out if they would have matched up instead of the Jazz. I think a team like Utah, the matchup for the Lakers was difficult because they didn't have anybody that could really do anything with Karl Malone. Karl Malone at this point was by far the best power forward in the game. Lakers had no answer for him. They couldn't do anything with him. I just want to see the conference finals real quick of the Lakers and the Jazz to see just how that matchup went and just how dominant Karl Malone must have been to sweep those boys. All right, so these are the box scores of all 4 games. Game 1, no contest. Game 2, Lakers lost by 4. Game 3, they lost by 11. Game 4, they lost by 4 as well. And let's just look at the basic stats of that series. Malone averaged 30 and 10. I mean, that's pretty damn good. Stockton, 12 points. Byron Russell, 11 points. Hornacek, 9, so on and so forth. I mean, if you go down to the Lakers, I mean, Shaq averaged 31, almost 32, and 9 rebounds. I would think that somebody as big and dominant as Shaq, especially in this stage of his career, should have never averaged less than 10 rebounds a game. Seeing that he only averaged 9.3 rebounds in those 4 games, it's kind of unacceptable. That's just me. Eddie Jones averaged 15. Kobe only averaged 10. But I mean, if you're looking at this, let's look at the starters. So they started Shaq, Eddie Jones, Rick Fox, Derek Fisher, Robert Horry. I'm assuming Robert Horry played the 4, right? And Utah started Greg Foster, Hornacek, Russell, Stockton, and Malone. I'm assuming Foster played the 5, so Malone played the 4. I know Shaq wasn't guarding Malone, so Robert Horry is guarding Malone. That's why they got swept. I mean, not only that, but just the inexperience is probably why they got swept. But just in general, this is just my thoughts. I mean, this is what this video is all about. It's just a random thought that has popped into my head. It's just like, what could have been? Because I think that the series, although the Jazz Bulls series was competitive, went 6 games, needed heroics from MJ in the final minute of the game to make 3 crucial plays to win that finals. But what would have been? It could have been the passing of the torch, and we could have eventually gotten that finals. Who's to say that if the Bulls don't break up, if the front office keeps the squad together, that in '99, if it's Bulls Spurs, let's just say that the Spurs would beat the Bulls. Who knows? But the Bulls could have potentially beat them and then went for an 8th. And in 2000 ran up against the buzzsaw that was the Los Angeles Lakers, and that could have been the team to knock the Bulls off of that mountaintop, and the torch could have been proverbially passed on to the young Kobe and Shaq from Michael and Scottie. But I don't know. Actually, I want to see what ChatGPT says about it. Let's see. ChatGPT says that would be a fascinating matchup. The 98 Bulls team with Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, and the leadership of Phil Jackson would be taking on a dominant 1998 Lakers squad featuring Shaquille O'Neal, Kobe Bryant, and Coach Phil Jackson. ChatGPT is wrong. Okay, so those individuals, all these school kids that's in college using ChatGPT for your assignments, don't do it. Phil Jackson was not the coach of the Lakers in '98. Can't coach two teams at the same time. What's wrong with you, ChatGPT? Shaq versus the Bulls defense. Shaq in '98 was the peak of his powers. His size and dominance in the paint would be a massive challenge for the Bulls, blah, blah, blah. However, the Bulls had a strong defense team with Pippen, Rodman, and overall team defense mentality. They would try to limit Shaq's effectiveness by sending multiple defenders at him. We know about Jordan's leadership, Kobe's development. While Kobe was already very good, he wasn't yet the full. Yeah. We know all that. The Bulls' death. They had a lot of deaths. Steve Kerr, Tony Kukoc, Ron Harper. Don't forget about Randy Brown. He was a very important piece. Who wins? I think the series. Am I in the way? No. I'll read it for you anyways. I think the series would be extremely close, but the Bulls' experience, leadership, and defensive intensity gives them the edge. Chicago had proven in '98 they could still compete at the highest level. Their defensive schemes, primarily in the postseason, were legendary. With Jordan and Pippen, would likely find a way to neutralize Shaq's impact. I'm not sure about that. Possibly through double teaming and forcing the Lakers to rely more on outside shooting, which wasn't their strong suit, which is true. Prediction is Bulls in 6 or 7 games. Their defense and Michael Jordan's clutch play being the deciding factors. Now, one thing that I didn't think about, to be honest with you, is Dennis Rodman. Rodman gave big guys fits. Pause. He always gave big guys fits, or just guys in general. He got under the skin of Karl Malone. We know that battle. As a matter of fact, they had a whole wrestling match. I think Dennis probably could have given Shaq some problems. And if he would have at least, give him, make the game a bit more frustrating for him. And even if he fouled him a little bit, Shaq's horrible from the free throw line. So, what's the worst that could happen? As long as he don't get fouled out. And the Bulls, they had 7-footers. They had legit footers. I mean, Luke Longley, 7-footer. They had a guy by the name of Bill Winnington, 7-footer. And, they had some guys that they could expend fouls on Shaq. So, I mean, to be realistically honest, the Bulls probably win that series easily in '98, just because of the fact that Kobe wasn't quite there yet. If this was the 2000 squad where Kobe had started to ascend his game and he became what we were beginning to feel that he could be, it's a different story. And the Bulls team would have been 2 years older. You can't just, hypothetical. This is all hypothetical. This is just, something that popped into my head. Random brain thought. But it just would have been interesting to see that matchup. And, just thinking about some of the other matchups that we never got a chance to see in the finals. It's fun to think about these things. At least it is for me. But let me know what you think about it in the comments. Who you think would have won this matchup if they would have been able to pair up against each other, the Lakers and Bulls, particularly in '98, because that was the closest that we could have potentially, actually gotten that finals matchup. Bulls probably win it though, just because of Kobe, his development wasn't quite there yet. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and if you're new to the channel, please subscribe on your way out, por favor. See you on the next one.